Coonsweiler, and I may get you. Sorry, Steve, I may get you in trouble for this, but
yeah.
but
oh boy,
but he's going to do it anyway.
boy, I'm worried.
not real sorry, but sort of sorry. But was it? You know, Steve said to us, he says, "You ever notice since 9/11 that cops have spent a lot more effort and training on this SWAT maneuver, the militaristic interdiction kind of thing, and they're all tooling up with the big armored vehicles and everything, and yet, Tom, I have to say, the military would say, no, that's not military. We're not that inept. Because this really probably, I'd say just about anybody who is going to take this training film and say, here's not how to do it.
Well, I would hope so, and I hope that we end up getting there. I hope everybody will contact the Florida FBI and tell them that they want justice done for these Mr. Ordonez and
well, no, the FBI is a federal entity.
They are investigating it because of the kidnapping aspect of the carjacking, and because there are so many police involved. But there were FBI on the scene, because I know I saw at least one FBI jacket or thing with FBI on it. Mm-hmm. So they were involved
they'll always find a way to weasel themselves into any state.
Well, there's
government issue.
But my point is that it's this overly militaristic, it's this mindset that we have to close the gap. My problem with Betty Shelby was that she had no business being at the corner of that van where she was, with being that close to him, certainly without backup, but certainly thinking that he was high on PCP or whatever. And she had no business being there, because the only thing that you can do when you do that is escalate to deadly force. There's virtually no other option at that point. And the thing is, we used to take time with our people and the 5-hour OJ chase or this or that, or and it used to be we would take that time. Now it's like, oh, we got to have this done in 5 minutes. Once we come to a stop, it's like, we got to get it done. And again, you watch places like California and Arizona, and they set up on these guys and they wait them out. They might bring in the big SWAT military truck that is armored so that they don't get shot, but they sit right up on them and they make sure that they disable the vehicle, and then they wait them out.
Yeah, I mean, it's different story, same militaristic man from Uncle attack mode. Fort Worth police officer fatally shot at Tatiana Jefferson just 2 months ago. We're just going to gun down innocent civilians based on the fact that we've been trained. trained.
And note, that's why I brought this up. You're talking about Texas, Florida, Oklahoma. We see the same thing happening even in California, where they still do occasionally do some things better, but we still see this kind of mindset, and it's everywhere. And it is a direct attack on the Constitution of the United States and our rights protections. And the sad thing is, I don't know that these police officers have any compunction or a remorse or anything for what they did. It's like, Yeah,
I want to talk to that, because I do spend time with police officers in training. Particularly, I'm involved in mental health, but I get a chance to open up in ways they won't talk about publicly, and that. One of the things in my work in mental health is I have to tell these people, you're going to have to check your ego at the door when you're dealing with what you think may be a mental illness, and that. The militarism of our police forces, we've got great military when it comes to probably some of the most powerful, effectively, well-trained military. And it benefits greatly from using that masculine testosterone, I'm going to win kind of thing.
Right.
Well, you put that mindset back into a peace officer, local law enforcement, and that where they feel like they're being defied, see, and then all of a sudden now their ego is being threatened, and I have to tell them, listen, I don't care if it's a mental illness, you're going to have to check your ego at the door.
Well, the thing is, you need to check your ego at the door, whether you're dealing with mental illness or
I get
not,
that.
because we all have rights that are quite frankly
And this is
superior to
the
their
problem, though,
oftentimes.
because that thing, and I don't apologize for being a man or for having testosterone. It's that drive that says I'm a protector.
Right.
I'm fine with that, but at the same time, don't make it about my ego.
Right.
And that's the thing you got to separate out. Everybody wants to be the hero, but everybody wants to go home that night to their wife and kids. So I can understand why cop on their instinct, all of a sudden I'm being shot at, I'm going to duck behind some car tire, okay? And that's just what you're going to do because that's what you have. Now, if there's a kid in an infant seat in the back seat by that car door, all of a sudden, now you're doing what we complained about the ISIS terrorists doing, using human shields.
Well, that's exactly what happened here. I mean, you look at it, there's 3 cars lined up, and the guy in the back is trying to get out.
Yeah.
And he's pushing the other 2 cars, literally pushing, and they are stacked up 4 deep on his rear bumper on the backside of him.
Yeah.
He's just trying to get out of there, and he can't.
Yeah.
But and by firing from there, what are they doing?
Yeah.
They're attracting fire back at them.
By advancing on the truck, they just
without the
asked
advancing
for it.
on the truck,
Yeah.
then we eliminate the cops as having contributed to it. At that
We
point, it
won't
was purely the robbers.
This is important. I got to follow up on how far had that chase proceeded until
20 to
then?
25 miles.
Okay, so that's probably gone from one local jurisdiction to another.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Okay, so now you've got multiple police forces. They haven't trained with each other. And I'm telling you, all it takes is one idiot cop to start shooting, and they put all the other cops and all the public at risk. And it could be just one bad actor.
Well, and this goes to because when you see like the famous chases were always from California, right? Southern California.
Yeah.
What you saw there is a concerted and a trained effort throughout all of these different police forces, and generally the CHP would get the highway patrol would take over. Because we usually enter get on the freeways.
Yeah.
But all of the various forces agree on this is how we're going to do it.
I know.
And so the point is that you don't get these maverick kind of things. But the point is that this all happened, or the cause of this happened at the training level. It happened at the policy level. It happened all well before.
Could be any of those, could be all of them, could be any or all. Or it could be that some guy who's on the force who just come back from his 4th tour in the Middle East, and he had a bit of PTSD kick in a flashback, and he just went back to, Mosul in his mind.
Okay.
And so he took 18 of his buddies with him.
And it's poor hiring then, and it's poor training, and so they couldn't screen this guy. Here's a guy who's
this is the point.
This is screen this guy.
This is why we have to have this discussion because without militarism in the police force, you don't have this question. We don't have this discussion. We have to start talking about this, and I've been amazed at the number, and quite frankly, the lack of the number of knee-jerk reactions. There have been those out there with the posts that I put up about this.
Okay, I was sitting down building a curriculum for a law enforcement continuing education thing with a police officer who actually has a mental health, I think, master's degree. And I won't say who he is, but good guy. And I said, now, what happens to you guys when you need to see a good therapist to process through some of the hell you go through?
Sure.
And he says, that's a tough deal. He said, I tell you why. Because, we're going to want to go see a therapist. We want our insurance to cover it. But as soon as your insurance covers it, then your employer knows. Right. And he says, and then when it comes time for advancement in the department,
you don't get it.
Yeah.
That's because you actually did the right thing.
And but here's the thing, and that's a problem policy-wise, where that becomes a thing against them. So I said, what are you doing? You guys are going to love this part. He says, we have a number of friends in the community who are professional mental health therapists who are now retired. And they offer to do all our counseling for us off the books.
Okay.
And that to me is, that's citizenship.
Is that legal?
That is citizenship. You know, look, I go down there and train. I don't bill them for
I'm
it.
kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Remember, it's like, that's a good thing, but there's probably a law against it.
Yeah. You're good, but you're not Ambroso, okay?
Who does the priest confess to?
Well, that's, you know, for me, it's the fact that we need to get control of our police force again. Our police need to acknowledge the fact that when these things happen and the police make mistakes,
Yeah.
they need to acknowledge it. What you get is this knee-jerk reaction, blue line protection, you know, kind of a thing,
Right.
and
My
it's like,
country, right or
Okay.
wrong, my country.
Okay,
well,
do you see what
my
happened?
police force,
Same
right or wrong.
concept.